Farewell to Manzanar by Jean and James Houston. Chapter 3. A Different Kind of Sand. We woke early, shivering and coated with dust that had blown up through the knotholes and in through the slits around the doorway. During the night, Mama had unpacked all our clothes and heaped them on our beds for warmth. Now our cubicle looked as if a great laundry bag had exploded and been sprayed with fine dust. A skin of sand covered the floor. I looked over Mama's shoulder at Keo, on top of his fat mattress, buried under jeans and overcoats and sweaters. His eyebrows were gray, and he was starting to giggle. He was looking at me, my gray eyebrows and coated hair, and pretty soon we were both giggling. I looked at Mama's face to see if she thought Keo was funny. She lay very still next to me on our mattress, her eyes scanning everything. Bare rafters, walls, dusty kids. Scanning slowly, and I think the mask of her face would have cracked had not Woody's voice just then come at us through the wall. He was rapping on the planks as if testing to see if they were hollow. "Hey," he yelled, "you guys fall into the same flour barrel as us?" "No," Keo yelled back. "Ours is full of Japs." All of us laughed at this. "Well, tell 'em it's time to get up," Woody said. "If we're going to live in this place, we better get to work." He gave us 10 minutes to dress. Then he came in carrying a broom, a hammer, and a sack full of tin can lids he had scrounged somewhere. Woody would be our leader for a while now, short, stocky, grinning behind his mustache. He had just turned 24. In later years, he would tour the country with Mr. Motto, the Japanese tag team wrestler, as his sinister assistant Suki. Karate chops through the ropes from outside the ring, a chunky leg reaching from under his kimono to trip up Mr. Moto's foe. In the ring, Woody's smile looked sly and crafty. He hammed it up. Off stage it was whimsical, as if some joke were bursting to be told. "Hey, Brother Ray Keo," he said. "You see these tin can lids?" Yeah, the boy said drowsily, as if going back to sleep. They were both young versions of Woody. "You see all them knotholes in the floor and in the walls?" They looked around. You could see about a dozen. Woody said, "You get those covered up before breakfast time. Any more sand comes in here through one of them knotholes, you have to eat it off the floor with ketchup." "What about the sand that comes in through the cracks?" Keo said. Woody stood up very straight, which in itself was funny, since he was only about 5'6". "Don't worry about the cracks," he said. "Different kind of sand comes in through the cracks." He put his hands on his hips and gave Keo a sternly comic look, squinting at him through one eye the way Papa would when he was asserting his authority. Woody mimicked Papa's voice. "And I can tell the difference, so be careful." The boys laughed and went to work nailing down lids. May started sweeping out the sand. I was helping Mama fold the clothes we used for cover when Woody came over and put his arms around her shoulder. He was short. She was even shorter, under 5 feet. He said softly, "You okay, Mama?" She didn't look at him. She just kept folding clothes and said, "Can we get the cracks covered too, Woody?" Outside, the sky was clear, but icy gusts of wind were buffeting our barracks every few minutes, sending fresh dust puffs up through the floorboards. May's broom could barely keep up with it, and our oil heater could scarcely hold its own against the drafts. "We'll get this whole place as tight as a barrel, Mama. I already met a guy who told me where they pile all the scrap lumber." "Scrap? That's all they got. I mean, they're still building the camp, you know. 16 blocks left to go. After that, they say maybe we'll get some stuff to fix the insides a little bit." Her eyes blazed then, her voice quietly furious. "Woody, we can't live like this. Animals live like this." It was hard to get Woody down. He'd keep smiling when everyone else was ready to explode. Grief flickered in his eyes. He blinked in a way and hugged her tighter. "We'll make it better, Mama. You watch." We could hear voices in other cubicles now. Beyond the wall, Woody's baby girl started to cry. "I have to go over to the kitchen," he said. "See if those guys got a pot for heating bottles. That oil stove takes too long. Something's wrong with the fuel line. I'll find out what they're giving us for breakfast. Probably hot cakes with soy sauce, Keo said, on his hands and knees between the bunks. No, Woody grinned. Heading out the door, rice with log cabin syrup and melted butter.